Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth.
Come on.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Hey.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Yeah.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Hey.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
VIP coming live from the VIP. Heard the nightlife, lost life without me. Both the feds in the state wanna see by me. The whole city got pissed, heard he got 3. That other nigga got a hip and shouted he not out. Who set the city on fire soon as he got free? The king back now, hoes don't even know how to act now. Hit the club, strippers getting naked before I sat down. Still ballin', money stacked tall in the shack now. Still push a button to let the roof on the lack down. I'm on the road doing shows, put my Mac down. Mississippi to Philly, Albuquerque to Chat Town. I got the crowd yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
all my hot girls yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
all the dope boys yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
front to back they yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Get with other rap nigga hooded than this. I got rich and I'm still on some hooligan shit. You be rapping by blow, I don't move in the shit. Talk about shooting out, now we're doing the shit. If I hit you in the face, you gon' be suing the shit. And if I catch another case, I know it truly be missed. So I'ma keep a cool head, stay out of the news headlines, and show these other rappers it's bedtime. It's clear to see that I'm ahead of my time. I cop the chromed out, hard top career with a shine. I got some time, they ain't shit cause I get better with time. Who got a flow and a live show better than mine? I got a packed house yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
all my hot girls yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
all the dope boys yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
front to back they yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
mic check 1 2 1 2. You wanna beef with the king? What is you gon' do when you show up on the scene with the 2 guns drew on you and your friend and play a little 2 on 2? If you do half of what I do, you'll be hitting the deck. I got a tool and a vest, I can get some respect. I'ma make it hard for a sucker nigga to flex. Show him this ain't the squad for a nigga to test. Pimp, my nuts too large and we way too fresh. Work well with 9s, AKs, and texts. And quick to check a lane like a game of chess. You wanna beef, nigga, bring your best. Cause we be standing in your front yard yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
all my hot girls yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
all the dope boys yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
front to back they yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
all the front yard yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
all my hot girls yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
all the dope boys yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
front to back they yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. 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 Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
You just heard the sound of the king of the South, T.I. I go by the name of Swiss Beats, the Monster. I need y'all to rewind this and play this from the top.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy.
Woo! Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth.
Come on.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Hey.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Yeah.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Hey.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
VIP coming live from the VIP. Heard the nightlife, lost life without me. Both the feds in the state wanna see by me. The whole city got pissed, heard he got 3. That other nigga got a hip and shouted he not out. Who set the city on fire soon as he got free? The king back now, hoes don't even know how to act now. Hit the club, strippers getting naked before I sat down. Still ballin', money stacked tall in the shack now. Still push a button to let the roof on the lack down. I'm on the road doing shows, put my Mac down. Mississippi to Philly, Albuquerque to Chat Town. I got the crowd yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
all my hot girls yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
all the dope boys yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
front to back they yelling,
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Get with other rap nigga hooded than this. I got rich and I'm still on some hooligan shit. You be rapping by blow, I don't move in the shit. talk about shooting out, now we're doing the shit. If I hit you in the face, you gon' be suing the shit. And if I catch another case, I know it truly be missed. So I'ma keep a cool head, stay out of the news headlines, and show these other rappers it's bedtime. It's clear to see that I'm ahead of my time. I copy chromed out, hard top career with a shine. I got some time, they ain't shit, cause I get better with time. Who got a flow and a live show better than mine? I got a packed house yelling.
One of mine, I was trying to get that caption off. I don't know what the heck's going on, Crystal. I think I had it
Oh
last week,
yeah,
so
I'm seeing that too. Now I'm seeing it.
I just that's what I was doing a while ago while the live was going live. So I don't know if I don't know if it just catches some of it. But I got to figure it out. I don't know if it's on the streaming. I don't know if it's on Facebook. So it's off on Facebook. But we got my lovely co-host back. We're back, man. We're back on the airways, man. It's been a while since we've been on a la máquina.
Yeah.
Man, well, we got a lot of interviews coming up, guys. So be on the lookout. I don't know who's on your timeline over there, Crystal, but I'm gonna give a few shout outs on our timeline over here. I want to give a shout out, man, to Hector Munoz out there, man. Also, big shout out to Kay Reeves. Also, shout out to the beautiful Mariah Tristan in La Casa. Big shout out to Amy Capistran in the house. Also, unos saludos, man, to the beautiful Roxanne Ruiz out of Houston, Texas. Also, unos saludos to the beautiful model actor doing big things out there in the Albuquerque, New Mexico area, which is right around the block from me, about 3.5 hours, something like that. Big shout out to Truck QL in the house. Also, big shout out to the 8th annual All Star Music Awards CEO, Chairman, Executive Officer. Big shout out to Jesse Torres for everything that he does. I know he's got about 17 different award shows. A la máquina. I think I'm exaggerating, pero he's working on his country music awards that he's about to be hosting here soon. Jesse, get in contact with me, man. And let's set up an interview and talk about all the award shows you got coming up in San Antonio, Texas. He says, "What's up, best podcast of the year?" Yeah, man, don't say that too loud. But yes, we did win a trophy, guys, and we honor it to our fans out there. So, Crystal, anybody out there on your timeline you want to say some shout outs out there?
I don't know who's watching. I'm not able to see on my end, but hey, everyone, thank you for joining tonight. Shout outs to the fam, the Garcia family watching, and that's all I have. I don't know who's watching.
Hoy no más, man. That's right, man. We got a lot of people in the house, man. Bienvenidos a todos. I think we're listening in to the New Mexico Radio Talk Show. This is the hottest podcast. You want to get your name out there? This is a spot to be at, man. We're on at least, guys, 4 nights a week. At least we try to be, but there's times. I also want to give a big shout out, man, to our moderator in the house, man. Big shout out to Dottie Hernandez, San Antonio. Says hello, hello, hello. We got also our youngest member on board with us, beautiful Serene Everly. I don't know if she's back from vacation yet, but she will be back with us next week. We got a big interview next week, man. We always got interviews all over. But we got a special guest tonight, guys. This girl is working her butt off too. Just like all the artists that we have on our show, they always work hard. And if you don't believe me, ask Crystal and ask our guest tonight that it is not easy manipulating a mom life, a wife, or girlfriend, being a podcaster. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy to do what these lovely artists are doing for you guys, to put music out there for you guys. They don't understand what it takes to be a musician, record videos. It's a lot of work. It costs anywhere between $2,500 to $5,000 for a video, and you never know. And if you want the right quality, you're gonna pay the big bucks. So, yes, Atrell says, "What's up from Albuquerque?" Yes, I'm back and ready. Well, we're ready to have you back, girlfriend. We're ready to have you back, Serene. Also, want to welcome in a good friend of mine, Estani Frizzell, to the New Mexico Radio
Hi,
Culture. How are you? Welcome aboard. Thank you for your
I'm
time
good.
and thank you for joining our show. We all know as an artist, right? We all know as an artist you could be out there, you could be doing you're practicing for rehearsal for the weekend or upcoming show
Yeah,
or upcoming song or upcoming album. But we thank you for your time.
yeah, thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Estani Frizzell? Who are you?
Mm. Well, I'm a multi-genre Latin artist, or I should say multi-genre artist with a focus on Latin music. Um, you go to my music, go to my pages, my different social media handles. I have an array of eclectic um, likes in music. Everything from neo soul to pop to Latin jazz to conjunto to cumbias. So it
Wow.
runs the gamut, but primarily, I don't know. I always gravitate towards the Latin genres. I can tell you right now, I love salsa, Latin jazz, and of course, where I grew up, San Antonio, my conjunto, the Tejano, that's there all the time. So without
Exactly.
question.
Wow, you got a little bit. You got a lot of flavor in your
I know, I just
repertoire,
told you the
right?
music. I know, I just told you the music. I'm trying to like scale it down. People who know me really well, they know that they're like, they try that you can't stop me from talking. So I'm really trying to like, shoo, I can tell you the whole story.
Well, you would fit in right over here at the New Mexico Radio Talk Show because that's the kind of people we need to keep the vibe going.
Right? Absolutely. I know. You don't want any of that that still awkward silence where it's like, okay, what's gonna be said next? From the person that you have on, from the guest. So no, I don't give you any of that.
And I think Crystal can vouch for that too because she's got her own show too that they do. And there's times, man, you being the main host, right? You got to make sure everything's to the T, and you don't want that dead air, and it's tough, to like, okay, well, what question is next, or what are we going to talk about
Right.
next? It's tough.
Right.
So, but
Yeah.
yes, sending some shout outs real quick. We got Paul and Jessica in the house. We got Stephanie Trejo in the house. Got a good friend of mine. We got Amber Sosa saying hello to us. We got Hector Munoz in the house también. We got Jesse Torres. We got Dottie Hernandez is in the house, man. We got a lot of people. We got Atrell Cuel in the house también. A lot of people showing you love. Roxanne Ruiz, Amy
Aw.
Capistran, saying hello to you guys. We got Mariah Tristan in the house también. You just got so many followers. And thank you for following us over here on the show.
I know some of those names. Thank you. Mwah, mwah, thank you. I do. Thank you. Just thank you for having me, and everybody that's new that knows you that doesn't may not know me. It's good to be able to introduce myself and come on in an authentic way where I can be very transparent and people can learn about me from my own mouth, like in the flesh, so to speak. Yeah,
No, and that's why we have these shows, and that's why Crystal has her show too, um,
absolutely.
to bring in different guests, right? And because here's the thing: when you do a show, people don't know who you are, and that's why we do
Right,
these, so people can get get people out there to listen to your music and
right,
get them to like, okay, well, who's this person? Well, okay, let me tune into this podcast, and then let me tune into Crystal's podcast, and I'll hear because she may have different questions than I do, and it's all to me, it's all about working with each other and having a good time. To me, um,
absolutely.
so like if I can help Crystal with her show or help any podcaster with their show, hey, why not?
Right? For sure. It's all about that communication and support and networking and helping everybody climb the ladder, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
together. There's
Evolve,
never
evolve.
it's all there's always enough. It's never like everyone says, "Oh, it's so oversaturated." I mean, sorry, that's my dog. I give my vocal lessons in here, so he thinks that there's somebody in here, and he's like a mad little dude. But it's all good. Anyway,
All right, más. Unos saludos, man, para Mari Cervantes checking in with us. She's going to be coming on to do an interview with us very soon. She's going to be a guest, actually. She's like, "Hey, how does your show work?" I said, "Well, tune in and listen to tonight's show, and you'll be able to check our show out, and we can be prepared for your interview." Unos saludos, man, para Sammy and Christina. Happy birthday going out to her out there. She just turned 22 years old today, so big shout out. No, just kidding. She just had a birthday. So happy birthday. Any birthdays out there? Happy birthday to you guys out there. Yes, Trail, teamwork makes the dream work, right? So
right?
any questions for Estani out there, Crystal, that you got in mind for our talented guests out there?
Yeah. How So I know that you're very versatile, right? How exactly did you get started? Where did that spark come from that made you say, this is what I want to do?
Wow, good question.
Well, I knew since I was young, but it was hard for me to articulate. And I've told this story before because it's so like emblazoned in my mind. I remember being in first grade, and I was always in dance class. Like when I was really young, first I was in like ballet and jazz and tap. My dad and my stepmother put me in those classes, and I remember people would always ask me, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And I knew I wanted to be a performer. I already knew that, but I didn't know the word, I guess. But in my mind, the word scientist sounded so smart, and I was like, "Oh, I want to be a scientist." But I knew I was like, "No, I don't.
Mm.
No, I don't." So I knew that I wanted to do something performance related. And then when I was with my mom, I was started taking lessons or classes with Ballet Folklórico de San Antonio. And my aunt and my cousins were very invested in the classes and performing. So doing that for all of those years until I was like 17, I believe, all the way until senior in high school. So we were with the company and we did it forever. We're at the Arneson every Sunday. We were with Texas Folk Life. I mean, we did everything. And I'll never forget, I used to see the mariachi on the Rosita Fernandez, I think, the bridge. And
Exactly.
one of our dancers, her name was Jimmy K. Ramos. She was also a singer. And we had a flamenco show at the Arneson as well. We'd start with flamenco
Mm.
and then go to all the different states of Mexico, right? But I remember seeing them sing, and especially when at the same time when Canciones de Mi Padre was coming out, and that was like a turning point for me. And then seeing the singers sing with mariachi, and then seeing Jimmy K, that was her name, Jimmy K. I was like, I want to do that. I always wanted to be like the triple threat. And my mom sang. My mom has a beautiful voice, but yeah, she didn't pursue it like I think she should have. But so and then as y'all know, we'll probably go on later, my grandmother was a singer, but I didn't know that's kind of where all of the conjunto tribute is coming from my grandmother.
Mm.
But I didn't know what extent. So anyway, I digress. See, I tell you, I give you long answers. But that is where really it started to take shape, was seeing the mariachi sing and me being involved in dance and how it all intertwines. And after that, I was like, no, I can go on too. And I loved R&B, old school. And I'll never forget, I heard Sam Cooke. He had a song called
Mm.
Bring It On Home to Me. And I was
Mhm.
like, and it was like my first relationship. I'm so sad he broke up with me. And I was like 16. And I kept the lyrics and I kept the melody, but I rewrote all the lyrics and I called it Save It All Just for Me. And I was like, oh, I fell in love with songwriting after that because I loved how you can like put put your words together to match and
Exactly.
create this story with like out of and everyone has sung about love, but it's about how you interpret your emotional connection to love, and somebody's going to connect with it. And I don't know, I thought that was so like I always wanted to write as well, and I was like, oh, I love the way my words and my lyrics can take shape in a song. So there's the long and short of it, the longer parts. So yeah.
Explain your songwriting process though, because I think everybody has their own way of approaching it, and
Mhm.
sometimes it gets interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that you asked me that question. So, my initially, because I'm a self-taught piano player, so now I top line. So when I outsource my music, because I don't do all the arrangements, but I do lyrics, melody, and chords. So I make sure to have all that out written out. But for the longest time, I would be listening to songs I really liked, and then I would go, "Oh, I like that." Like honestly, everything from like Coldplay to Laura Canales. I mean, it just runs the gamut of like who I like and if I like something. And then I will keep working with like it can be a little thing. It can be like, uh, I wrote a song for you. And I'm like, ooh, I like for you. And I'll be like, for you, for you. And I'll try and like, okay, now it doesn't even sound like Coldplay anymore. And I was starting out that way, just writing my melody first and like, okay, what am I going to write about? And I really, really have a good time with like syllabic structure. I feel like it's a puzzle. Like, how can I make
Mhm.
these syllables work within the framework of the song and still make a story, but as simple as possible. But once I started playing piano, that really just opened a whole new world for me, because then I didn't have to outsource anymore. For a long time, I was outsourcing, like, can you play piano for me? Can you do these chords? I had this melody and this lyric in my head that I was just like recording. And at the time, it wasn't even iPhones. It was like your little like play and record at the same time, the little
Mhm.
portable, you know,
Right.
and or even like the I want to say the beatbox was it, you know, when you would be like, oh, that song was on the radio, like especially in freestyles, I'd like play and record, you know, and you like wait for it to come on, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but when I started playing piano, that helped a lot. And from that point, I was able to relay to arrangers and producers like, hey, here's the key,
Exactly.
here's the chords, because they used to ask me when I was in a lot of cover bands in Los Angeles, and they were like, okay, oh, you're gonna sing Respect, what key? And in my mind, I was like, the original, hello. And they were like, yeah, what's that? And I was like, who doesn't, I didn't know, you know, I mean, I'm totally putting myself out there. And I was like, how can you not know? You know, or like they go, oh, we are family, you know, we are family, you know, or whether it's higher or lower. In my mind, I was like, it's just like the original. But learning to play piano helped me really form my songs in a way that I could relay them to producers, um, to help facilitate um, the rest of the arrangement. And in terms of like, again, so once they would do that, in terms of the lyrics, to get back to the melody, because I love talking about this, I really believe 210%. I was just talking about this today because we're putting the documentary soundtrack together. I'm so excited. Simple is always better. Simplicity
Mhm.
is always, if your song can sound like a nursery rhyme, that you've won. I mean, and in the sense of, people always want a hook to catch on to. They want that one thing that, like, you know, when I was writing children's songs, I was like, oh, 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 like little tiny little tidbits of like, what's that one hook thing? Or like, I don't know, you can think of anything from, so I think Selena was so big. Her hooks were so good, you know, and they were so
Mhm.
easy to, whether it's Baila esta cumbia, and then, and the framework of the melody, dun, dun, and it just repeats. But you have to find
Mhm.
those little repetitive structures. Again, I can, because I love the songwriting process. So I'm always trying to find that like nursery rhyme type melody. And I don't mean like twinkle, twinkle, little star, but in the sense that it's catchy and it's easy on the ear. And
Mhm.
over time, I've also tried not to be so introspective in my writing, you know, because where you don't want to write so deep, where like everyone's like, what? What are you saying?
Yeah.
You know, just you want it to just be just enough for people like, oh man, I really feel that. But I felt it because she wrote it, or I could feel it from her, you know, instead of like,
Mhm.
man, you are way out there. What happened to you? Yeah, I don't know. So that's my process in a nutshell. Again, I wanted to bring it really in a much more contained answer, but I gave you the big one. Oh, look at my hearth. What did I do? Did I do
Aw.
that?
I really like that you said simple is better because not everybody believes that. And I think that's the easiest way to go like commercial with the music. Again, making something that's catchy for people to remember. A lot of
Yeah.
people try to add too much, and sometimes that just doesn't work.
No, and I think myself included at one time, you know, you want to show like how intricate you can be and how like
Mhm.
smart, you know, and how like different. And I'm not saying that that's not good, but it's who are you doing it for? You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
mean, yes, people say make music for yourself and then others will follow. I do, like Rick Ross says all the time, don't make make music that you like and then people will follow. I totally agree with that. But
Mhm.
also making it too in depth, I guess, for lack of a better word, I think it kind of can muddy the water a little bit. You know, it's
Mhm.
really, that's why someone like Bob Dylan is not the greatest singer, but his, they're just so simplistic, and like just some of the best songs, they're just so easy to sing along to. The
Right.
Beatles, every single Beatles song, you know.
Yeah.
Um but like I said, like even I was talking to a friend of mine today, and we were talking about Tecnocumbia, like of course Selena again, but it's just like call and response, oh, you know, and it's just da da da
Hmm.
da 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 da. It's very catchy, and like you were saying, so. But I've been there too. I write a song and I'm like, ooh, like you want to make it so over the top, like deep. And it can be, but you have to
Hmm.
find a way to make it. That's the hardest part, to make it
Yeah.
deep but simple, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's a fine line there. I think
Right?
there's a
It
question
is.
right here.
Well, we got a question from our lovely Serene. She's always coming up with different questionnaires
All
for our
right.
show, and she's very brilliant at what she
Ah.
does at such a young age. She goes, Estani Frizzell, as a multi-genre artist, describe how you would model the way and encourage the heart for young new music artists.
Oh, I love that. Well, that's what I'm really trying to do in this documentary that we're finishing as well. That's been in the works for a couple years already. I think for new artists, I love the fact that young artists now have the capability to go back to see what the pioneers were doing in any genre and embrace those early sounds and be able to find a way to implement them into new music now. So that's one huge advantage that young artists have over like Gen X and millennials, that we really didn't have all of the landscape that younger artists now have. We had what we knew, and that was about it, unless somebody showed us something new. So I think for the artists that want to continue in whatever style, what I want to do is show that you don't have to be in this little tiny box. You don't have to be in a trapezoid. You can be your, no, you don't have to be in this like, oh, there's my hearts again. You can do, we're in a time now where you can do what you want, pretty much, as long as you're staying true to your authentic self, and of course everybody talks about branding, but now we're in a time now where people are falling in love with the personality and then the music, which is ironic because it usually would be the music first and then the
Exactly.
person, but now they want to get to know who you are. And I can only be who I am, and that's why I want to leave legacy projects, because I wish I was going to be here forever, but I'm not. And I would like to be able to leave, not just for my daughter and her kids and her kids' kids, but maybe somewhere, some way, somehow, sometime, uh, a younger artist, such as Serene. Is that your name, Serene? Am I wrong?
Yes.
Serene? Or any other, younger artist can be like, oh, this is what she did. Or, and not just me, for Crystal, that Crystal you can leave behind, whatever our legacy is, that people are going to find it, and you're going to inspire somebody to go, well, he did it or she did it, and I can do that. I can do that wherever, however big or small your audience is. I feel that it you can make a difference, and maybe that sounds like, a bit, I don't want to sound trite or cliche when I say that, but I do feel that that's the way we're going to have to model for younger artists, is to really, we're moving away from the Instagram picture perfect person. I'm so glad. And now we're moving towards more of authenticity, and it is
Mm.
more interest media, but for the younger generation, it's so much more about who you are. And that's what I'm
Yes.
trying to implement, whether I'm 20, whether I'm 25, I'm not gonna tell how old I am, or whether I'm 104, I'm trying to like put that out there as like, you can be yourself. And it doesn't always have to be about posting either. Put out that good music, and you're gonna find your people, you're gonna find your tribe, but you have to really not, it's not even convincing, just be you. And now we're in a great space to do that. So I hope
Yes.
that helps,
Yes.
Serene. Thank you for the question. It was great.
Yes.
No, just managing over here, listening to the question and listening to what the Stani had to say, man. That's very great. Very great for all the young artists out there, man. And there's a lot of young talents, man. And it's crazy. Everybody asks me, how do I find such young talent? I said, I don't know. They find me. I guess they watch the shows. I guess.
That's a good thing though, you know? That's another thing, you know, like the merging of sounds now, you know, there's so many. I mean, I admire all the traditionalists and the purists of whatever style, whatever, whether it's like rock and roll, blues, zydeco, conjunto,
Exactly.
cumbias, tejano. I admire the traditionalists and the purists, but I do say it all came from somewhere. I mean,
Mhm.
conjunto has derivatives of country and blues. So if they say, no, you know, so there's all these other styles.
Of
And so the younger
course.
generation, you know, why can't you put SZA with Ramon Ayala? Why can't you do, you know, I mean, come on, you know, why can't you put Ray with Grupo Frontera? You know, maybe, I don't know. You know, I don't
Mhm.
know. You know, I mean,
Exactly.
anything is possible.
Right. Few shout outs, man, to Danny Noyola and his wife Alma out there, man. Saludos de Cedar de Corpus Christi, Texas. Saludos. Also, una saludos para my good friend out there. Q Promotions. Quentin Rivera says, "What's up, Q Promotions?" He's out there. He's a good promoter out there, man. So that's a guy. I need to get in touch with that guy, man, so I can bring my artists to all his events. All right. So
Mhm.
Q, get in touch with me after the show, man. I also want to send another shout out, man, to another host of mine. Just signed her
Uh,
back in San Antonio, back in at the 8th annual Star Music Awards. Beautiful Anna Bonda, man, did such an amazing job out there. She says, "I love what you said about writing a song. Just like everything, sometimes we overthink things
yeah,
too much." Yeah.
Mhm.
I
And
love that.
right. So yeah, big shout out. We got Mari Cervantes checking in with us. Hi, Q says call him. Yeah, I'll call you after the show, man. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of young talent, man. A lot of young talent. There's still and to me, there's room for people to grow, man. And just to put it out there, man. But yeah, we got another listener out there, David Vela. He's a big fan of ours out there. Says hello, Hen Dog, Crystal, and the Stunny. David Vela, Oakland is watching. If you don't know who this
Oh,
guy is, he used to be with the Oakland Raiders back in the day. Now he's a busy professional movie star, and this guy is perfection at showing love and support to everybody's podcast. And the
nice.
reason why I say that, Estani and Crystal, is because this guy could be busy, cooking dinner or eating dinner with his family or doing a movie shoot. But on his break, he'll starve himself and he'll check out not only my show, but he'll check out Crystal's show. He'll check out everybody else's show, even if it's for 5-10 minutes. But he does. Also, big shout out to my good friend Heather Jolene out there. But yeah, we're going to take a short commercial break here in just a little bit because we got some music from Estani Frizzell, man. She's got some amazing music. But before we do that, we're going to get Estani to sing us a song. So, Estani, I'm putting you on the market, putting you on the spot. I do
How
it
did
all the
I
time.
how did I know? And you know what? I didn't even warm up, but I thought to myself, what if he asks me to sing? Oh, what if he asks me to sing? You're putting me on the spot. I didn't even do my warm-ups. Crystal knows the warm-ups. um, anything?
Yes, it could be a ranchera, it could be an R&B, it could be a mariachi, something.
Ay, gosh, I should have had one ready in my brain, ready to go. Um,
See,
let's
we put
see.
people on the spot here, guys. We put people
I
on the spot.
know. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Uh, Mi suerte ha cambiado y ya estoy ganando otro amor a quien querer. There's a little bit of Mi suerte ha cambiado. You should play that one or God, baby, where did our love go? Ooh, don't you leave me, baby. Don't you leave me this way. I'm singing my little light voice. I've got this burning yearning feeling inside me. Ooh, so deep inside me, and it hurts so bad. There you go. Some little
Wow.
Motown and conjunto.
Well, with that being said, we're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to come back. We got more questions for our beautiful guests. This song goes a little bit of something like this.
Solo encontraste alegría en mi corazón. Cuando tú me dejaste, cuántas maldadas caricias pudiste fingir. Ahora que te arrepientes, dejas mi vida deshecha sin Dios y sin fe. Vete mejor, vete y no vuelvas jamás. No quiero volverte a hablar. Déjame en paz. Ahora que te arrepientes, dejas mi vida deshecha. Sin Dios y sin fe. Ahora que te arrepientes, dejas mi vida deshecha sin Dios y sin fe. Vete mejor, vete y no vuelvas jamás. No quiero volverte a hablar. Déjame en paz. Déjame en paz.
Artemas, man, that's the single right there, man. I like that single by beautiful Estani Frizzell, man. Be
Thank
sure to look
you.
it up on all those social media platforms, man. And we were just talking a little bit before the air, man. And these artists, man, they put a lot of work, a lot of time, and they spend a lot of money on these these platforms to get it out there to the DJs and to Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music, and the thing is, if you don't look into detail on how much the artist gets paid for each time you press play or each time you put it in your playlist, and it can get rough for these artists to put in the time, especially like when you're a singer and a songwriter at the same time, and you want to get paid for it. So the way
Mm-hmm.
these artists get paid for it, guys, purchase their music. If it says $1.99, purchase it. And I tell all the artists I'm being too, because just because I'm the DJ, they're like, oh man, we got a USB for you, or hey, we got a CD for you. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the CD, I like it for free, but charge me for it, because I know the hustle, I know the exact
That's
hustle.
good. Well, that's
We were just at Artesia, New Mexico, which is like a little town. It's like 30 minutes from where I'm at, right? And the band was good. They came all the way from Florida, man, and they played a little bit of everything: Spanish, reggae music, a little bit of English music. They played a little bit of everything, and that's one thing that they mentioned after their show. They're like, "Hey, we got these little placards. I'll have to show you. I'll have to post one on Facebook. I have it in my other bag. But it's a little thing, and it's got a little like a little code. You type it in. Well, once you pay for it, it's yours. So you go in there and you download it, and you can put it into your file or folder,
hmm
and it's only $10. So I tell everybody, support these artists, man, to make more music, to make more
Yeah.
product, more merchandise. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of artists nowadays, Estani, don't make CDs anymore.
I know, you know what? But I do.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
And I
Hilda
have
Pena.
albums
What's going on? EP
too.
Promotions in the house. We got
Hmm.
we also have Linda
Oh,
Capstran
hi.
Capistran Bourbon in the house. Hello from San Antonio. A
That's
la
my
máquina.
auntie.
Capital. Hilda Pena says hello. Estani Frizzell, HP Promotions from CHR Records.
Hi.
Also, una saludos para Yvette Martinez from the RGV. And then we got Sandy Chapa says, hi, Crystal Light. See you tomorrow. A la máquina.
Ooh,
See,
can't
they're
wait.
really advertising. They're advertising. Yeah. I'm gonna be sending a bill to Crystal in the mail tomorrow. No, just kidding. Just kidding, Crystal. No, but tell us a little bit about this song. Déjame en paz. Tell us a little about it. How did you get it out there?
Déjame
Put
en
it out there?
paz. Well, I found some 45s, and see, honestly, I was gonna sing one of the songs. I'm thinking, when you asked me to sing, because you want to sound just like the record. Cuando llegaste, solo encontraste alegría en mi corazón. Anyway, had to do it because I was like, what are the words? I was gonna be like, because my family, which understandable, these are my grandma's songs, but I don't
Exactly.
want to do a disservice. I don't want to say, I don't want to. I was having to listen phonetically to the songs, so I get real conscious of like, oh my God, am I going to say a word wrong? Am I not going to remember the song? Because I haven't sung that particular song in a while. So Déjame en paz, all of the songs actually, the way this whole thing started, I found some, and I say found loosely because I knew my grandmother was a singer. And I think maybe I knew she had a 45 or something somewhere a long time ago, but then I found two of them, and they had four songs total, two songs on each side. And
Exactly.
yeah, and my initial thought was, oh, I that'd be so great if my grandma could sing these songs again because they're her songs. I actually have a crazy story also about these songs just recently that happened on TikTok like a week ago. It's totally serendipity. But anyway, so at the time she was like 88. She's now 91. And I was
Wow.
like, hey, yeah. So I've been doing this whole thing for 3 years. This project has turned out, September of this year will be 3 years in the making of like the first video where I was like, look at these records I found. But anyway, I she was conscious of her voice. She was like, I don't know if I can do them justice the way I did before. And I asked, can I sing them? And she with her blessing, yes, you can. And so I started singing just the four in Los Angeles. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do these four. And there was a conjunto band out there, and the accordion player out there said, oh, you might want to look at um your Huli La Frontera collection, Chris Strakowitz. And your grandma's, there might be more songs. And I was like, no, I don't think so. Like, I don't think that there was anything more than this. Well, lo and behold, I go on the La Frontera website, Arhuli, and there were four more. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So then now we have eight. And my that whole thing in Los Angeles didn't work out. Sometimes that just happens. And I'm wondering, is that my phone? No, it's not my phone. Okay. So the drummer from in Los Angeles is a substitute drummer for Tex Maniacs. I don't want to say substitute because I know that he won the first Grammy with them. His name's Lorenzo Martinez. So he was like, hey, because I felt kind of defeated, honestly, at that time. I was like, God, this isn't going to happen. And he was like, hey, you should get a hold of Max Baca and the Tex Maniacs. I didn't know at the time who they were. And it just was perfect timing because I was looking for a conjunto band here in San Antonio. I was literally going online, going conjunto bands in San Antonio, like trying to search. And I contacted them, and they saw who she had worked with on the record. It was Manuel Guerrero and Toby Torres, and I think Valerio. Well, I found out that Valerio Longoria had written one of the songs on there, Mi Suerte Ha Cambiado, or he was the first one recorded, I should say.
Wow.
So all that to say, yeah, I just at first, this was just going to be what I considered a Buena Vista-ish social club project. I thought, oh, that'd be really cool. I'll just record these songs, give them to her for her 90th birthday, and put a little thing together of the
Right.
band that she used to play with, people, and that didn't, turned out to be much bigger. So anyway, with the documentary that's coming together. So these songs came from that. I found four of them on a 45, on two
Wow.
45s, and the rest were on La Frontera, the website. And even the most recent one that I did with Gilberto Perez, the El Burro Pardo, she did that was her female version. It says I added a female voice to it, but in that time, from what I've been told, that was pretty bold to put a female voice, to have a female perspective on Burro Pardo. She's
Right.
kind of like, "Oh, I don't want to." So I, kind of rounded up the whole thing with a nice little ribbon with ending it with Burro Pardo. So now, the soundtrack is going to be a lot of originals. They're all originals, so I'm excited about that.
Wow.
Anyway, again, you asked me about Déjame en Paz, and look where I went, all the way over there. Sorry about that.
No, but I mean, it's a neat story to have. And the thing is, Estani, you're going to have this for the rest of your life and the rest of your career to pass on to the next generation. And that's what these interviews are about. And hopefully, people are catching on because, and I don't know who's on here who has never heard of your music before. But that's what we're here for, to put out your music so people can relate to it, because music soothes a soul. You could be going through a depression, you could be going through something in your life or something throughout the day, but you put this song on your playlist, your gym workouts or whatever, or you may have a bad day at work. Boss may
Right?
make you upset or something, or coworker makes you upset, and listen to a song, and it helps. It really does help for the people.
Yeah.
And for you to get to do this for your grandma, and her to be 91 years old. I mean, a la machina, like to still have her at still 91 years old, and
Yeah. I'm very fortunate.
seeing your career, involved with different generations and different platforms that you're doing. You're multi-genre. You're doing everything that you possibly can, and her to be able to witness that for the remainder of her life, which is pretty awesome to have that
Thank
beside.
you.
Pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a journey, and it's sometimes it's a little difficult because I was not known as a conjunto singer, and I'm not known as that. And so I do feel, and I don't want to speak for a lot of other women. As I say, I don't want to, that I feel like I'm about to. But I feel like breaking that wall, like it's a funny place to be, because, and there was another um singer, she's more Tejano, that I spoke with, that I interviewed, and she kind of had the same thing to say. I won't say her name, but we both, it's like, you're not, I don't want to say gatekeeping, because that has a negative connotation, but there's a small circle, and it's very difficult to break in. So the irony here is, like, we're looking for new artists to emerge and to keep the this style in particular going, conjunto, but then, and tejano, but then there's like this circle that doesn't allow, like, you have to pay your dues, and how long are you paying your dues, or how, so it's like someone possibly like me, or like Crystal. I can't speak for Crystals. I don't know. Maybe your experience is different, but it's like we're on the outside looking in, and you hear the not talk, but we need more. We need new artists, and yes, there are a lot of new artists, but we all need to rise. There's a certain particular group that have risen, and they stay there, and that's a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing. No diss, I guess, for lack of a better word, to anyone who's risen up in the Tejano and Conjunto, because, like I said, this is kind of new for me in a sense, but I've always heard, and I've always sung Conjunto. That's another thing nobody knows. But in Los Angeles, if there is anybody that's listening right now, I was living in Los Angeles for 25 years, they know. I was singing Conjunto and Tejano since the late 90s, when I had, moved. I mean, I was right away singing. There's a band called the Pistoleros, and literally we were taking a lot of Alicia Villarreal, Laura Canales, Elsa Garcia, um, yeah, Jaime Los Chamacos, like all these bands that I really didn't know the names when I was living at home with my grandma. I just heard them all the time on Queda on KXTN, but I heard it. So once, and me going to Los Angeles, and there was a particular band, it's like, you sing Conjunto en Tejano? And I was like, yeah, and like, come with us. So let me tell you, I was at every tardeada, I was at every VFW, I was at every dance, you know,
Wow.
over there. I mean, in LA, it wasn't Rosedale Park, it was Irwindale Park, it was City of Azusa, it was City of Industry, it was Pico Rivera, it was Bell Gardens, but nobody in San Antonio or any, you know, and rightfully so. Why should they care? Why should they? It doesn't matter because I wasn't here. So to anybody that's like, this is the birthplace of Conjunto, they're like, yeah, and who are you? You know, and so to break in, um, it does feel like you're on the outside. When is that little moldy circle going to open for somebody else? It kind of is like, I don't know. That's my only, not concern, but that's my only observation, is that I think the community needs to be more um inviting, I guess, or I was gonna say more like
Yeah.
unifying, I guess, you know?
Mm.
And I don't mean that about, nobody's mean. Nobody's like, it's just like, we have these people and this is who it is. And that's, and sorry, you know, maybe in 42 years, you know, you can come in and do the, I won't say anymore, but you know, and I'm being,
Well,
obviously at that
well,
point, I'm
well,
being a
well
little
no,
sarcastic.
you got a point, and and I don't try to take away from anybody because I am no better than anybody else in terrestrial radio or AM FM or mobile internet, and and everybody hears New Mexico radio talk show. I mean, I guess I could probably well, when I hit the lottery, I can get a radio station underneath Mexico Radio Talk Show or come up with the radio station name, right? But my thing is, they hear the radio in it. They're like, "Oh, you got a radio station? Congratulations!" Yeah, thanks. No, I don't. But so so I also have a promotion company. And just because I don't, you're not my artist doesn't mean I'm not gonna play your music. I am going to play your music, but I got to play all my artists first because that's who I manage and promote and stuff like that. And but the thing is like when you Mexico Radio Talk Show, because I do a music show throughout the week. Sometimes I do it on Friday, sometimes I do it on Saturday morning, sometimes I do it in the morning. But I play all the music. I play Crystal's music. I play your music as well. And I don't pick and choose who I'm playing. I try to give everybody a platform to shine. Yeah, it's tough to give everybody a platform to shine because there's so many artists out there, and especially like if I do an hour show, how do I play everybody's music all within the hour, right? Or even two
Right.
hours, right? I wish I could be on, 8 hours, 10 hours a day, right? That's a long time being on a podcast and doing a radio show. It's a long time. But it is on rotation, when I do my music shows. Also, I have a Roku TV channel as well. That are like if you got video or even if you just got the audio, I'd still put it on my Roku channel. So it's playing 24 hours on the as long as I keep that Roku channel paid for, it's going to keep continue to play. So
Right.
it's another platform for the artists that we have on board. So but yeah, it starts with the DJ, starts with the radio station, starts with the bars, the clubs. It's real sad. When are they going to open up doors for these newer artists? Because you're not a big name, but they won't book you. But if you're Selena or Jay Pettis, oh yeah, they want that there. Why aren't they giving these other people a chance to perform at their venue?
Yeah.
But it's tough. It's tough because if you throw your own event, you don't get hardly anybody to go. I mean, because tickets are one probably too expensive. Of course, you got to
And
cover.
you're not known. I mean, it's a catch 22 because I understand the side of the venue also. Like how would they make money on an artist that isn't known? Like someone like me. I understand, and I completely understand that. So if you, rightfully so, they've paid their dues. They're up there for a reason. Like in this
Exactly.
genre, like Stephanie Montiel, Shelly Lares, you know, there's no way you could take away from their status of, so that's not at all. I'm not trying to
And what they paved,
take,
right?
and that's what I'm saying, and what they've paid. But and there are people that will pay, but there aren't, and so from a venue standpoint, they're kind of stuck too. So we're all kind of in this, because I'm sure they would want to give, if they could give everybody a chance, like, okay, we're going to bring in Estani, we're going to bring in Crystal, we're going to, and there's ways when they do it, like, okay, we're going to have an opener, we're going to have this. But a lot of times for things like that, you need that. It is a lot about networking. It is a lot about contacts. And I think that's the majority of it, really. It's that one person that has that that's like, you could be like the Whitney Houston of conjunto music, or you could be just like, like somebody that's, I don't want to say in whatever capacity. I don't mean, again, I'm saying that because I don't know what else to say. But if that one person that maybe, instead of saying I, hasn't really been there, you know, done enough, or doesn't have a lot, but if they know somebody, and that one, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be conjunto music. That's across the board in any career. So it's not just music. And so, me having this discussion doesn't, it's not just related to conjunto. It's just that um that's what we're doing right now, Tejano conjunto music. And it's something that is probably going to always be a somewhat of a difficult boundary to loosen, I guess, or a barrier to cross, because it really is a contact. It really is a contact, a network. And this is why things like this are such a beautiful place to be for a new artist, because you are allowing a platform for someone who's lesser known to be known. I mean, I would have never met Serene, I don't think, maybe, I mean, or I would never been able to answer her question. Maybe that's going to cause her to go listen to my music. And if nothing else, she heard it and she's like, oh, that's what she does. Whereas like, I wouldn't have had that before. So platforms like this really help emerging artists, whether, like I said, whether you're new, up and coming, whether you've been doing it forever, and just for the first time, though, there's new listeners. So anyway, all that to say, I'm giving you some props. Yay, thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
technology, study technology, I mean, look where we're at. You're over there in San Antonio area, and I'm over here in the New Mexico area. Crystal's over there in the San Antonio area también too, right? So it's like, back in the day, early 80s, early 90s, and back in the day before all this technology, we would literally have to travel to you, or we'd have to travel to a spot and just do it that way, and do it over
Right.
the radio, or do it over a recorder or a pager, or one of those
Yeah.
voice recorders back in the day. But technology,
Yeah.
Zoom, Skype, all these different apps that they got to do meetings, man. And it's just like a job, right? The boss can be all the way in Palm Beach, Florida, and he can do an interview with his employee, or with the employee that he's about to hire from way over there. And then when the employee gets hired, he flies in and does just a regular physical interview real quick, and
Right.
see if it's actually what they really want. And I mean, technology is where it's at.
Right.
And like I said, we try to put everybody out on our shows. So hopefully this reached out to a lot of people. And we got another question from our talented host over here. Serene Everly says, "What is your
Oh.
strategy for dealing with performance anxiety? And after a show, what is your go-to snack?" Wow, good question, Serene.
Well, I'm a sweets girl. I love sweets. So
Uh
there's these
oh,
things. Oh my God, I wish I could. I'd have to go get them real quick. They're called JoJo's, and they're
never heard of
little
them. Are they
dark
good?
chocolate square. Oh my God, they're addicting. They're dark chocolate squares with cranberries and pistachios and almonds on top, little flakes.
Oh man, don't tell
Yeah,
me I'm
that's
getting hungry.
they're
Stunny, I'm getting hungry.
so good. I know it's a sweet tooth. Like I said, it's the sweets. So that is probably my go-to. Or like, as much as I don't like to admit it, I get the little tiny McDonald's hamburger. I know. Don't crucify me because I said McDonald's. I'm totally being transparent here. But the little tiny burger with like just plain. Because in my mind that justifies like the calories, I'm like, or it's not that bad, like, well, it's just a little tiny bread with a little tiny piece of meat. No, nothing, no mayonnaise, no pickles, just a little. That's my like, what do you call it? You know, the little vice, I guess, after I sing, but not before. No milk, no alcohol. I don't really drink at all, so that's an okay thing. But no, yeah, no dairy. You know, nothing.
Hmm.
No, I have a little ritual that I do. I have this beekeeper. It's immune spray, and then I have Vocalese, and then I have Voice 37. It's by Clior, and it's amazing. So that kind of helps me right there. I'm kind of answering two questions in one with performance anxiety. Um, for a while, I was having GERD, which is gastroesophageal reflux. It's like basically where the lining of your esophagus and like your vocal cords can kind of get irritated because of acid. So I went to go see an ENT in Los Angeles. That's where I was when this was going on, and gave me all homeopathic stuff, no Prilosec, nothing like that, because it's kind of very bad for you. Um, so that in terms of like the physical ailment side, that just helps me mentally feel better. And I think now, you know, I used to have a lot of performance anxiety. This is a really great question, Serene, because for a long time I didn't know, and I would just kind of that it was anxiety, and I would try to be so perfect, and I would start to lose my voice out of nowhere, and I was like, what the heck is going on? And now that I'm a vocal coach, I there's something called dysphonia. And dysphonia, like it happened to Shania Twain. She had so much vocal anxiety, and it's just mental stress that you get on stage and you start like thinking about everything else, like, oh my god, am I going to sound good? Oh my god, is the band going to be right? Oh my god, did the people going to like me? You know, instead of just like feeling the song and being very confident in what you're doing, that your mental anguish can literally have an effect on how you sing. And like, I mean, like, you know, over time, maybe not then, but you start pulling chest, you start getting tight, you know, and it just starts to become a constant. And the more you do that, it's like the cycle repeats. It gets worse and worse. Then the next gig, you can sing 2 songs, whereas you used to sing 7. And so now that I kind of know, ways that I relieve it, I'm just super confident in what I know I'm going to sing. It's lots of practice, because I used to think I could, I would do that. Like, hey, not that I wouldn't do vocal warm-ups, but I was like halving them, you know, half doing them, not really taking them seriously. But when you are so confident in what you're going to be singing, and you know, and you've practiced it so many times, um, that is one way to relieve performance anxiety. Another way is I always put myself in the position of the observer. You know, I think they came to see a show. Like, this is a blessing that you
Exactly.
are up there on stage as God gave you a gift, and what you do with it is your gift to God. And so it's a blessing that and that just the fact that you're up there, you know, public speaking is like the number one fear of adults. And so to be a singer up on stage, it's like it's the most, you have to be so grateful for that gift, that you are able to convey that song, that spirit, that energy. And people are, whether they're paying or whether it's free, doesn't matter, they go to see you. And so when I really think about that, it does take me out of the performance anxiety, because they're already there to see me, and all I have to do is be like, how can I don't want to say be in myself, but like really know that what I'm giving is 100% of me, and that's what they're there for. But the second I start thinking about performance, it's all if I have to perform. And what I tell all my vocalists is really, like, even when I teach my vocalists scales and technique and warm-ups, I tell them at the end of the day, once you get on stage, just forget that, because it's really, people are there to see, they want you to make them feel something. And it's just connecting with a lyric. If you can't connect with, it's really not about, people think it's about the highest note and the lowest note. It's not. It's not. There's a reason why, like, you know, I mean, I like somebody like Amy Winehouse, right? She didn't have like this super range, but she feels like so much of what she says. And then there's other singers, you know, of course, I always say Whitney because I love her. So Whitney Houston is just exceptional. But there's other singers, I'm sure y'all have seen them, where they can sing the highest high note and the lowest low, and they're just like, yeah, you do all that stuff with the hand and everything. You're like, okay, that was impressive. Like, I'm impressed, but I'm not moved. You know, I think when you can move somebody, when you can move the audience, that really takes away the anxiety, because that's what you're there for. And they're there. Nobody in the state. And I think a lot of us do get into our heads like, oh my God, I'm going to mess up. I'm going to mess up. The audience, they only want to see you win. They only want to see, nobody goes to see somebody go, oh wow, I hope they're not good. Or I hope they mess up on their voice. Or I hope. So when I put those things in my head too, it just kind of helps me, like, I'm here to bring happiness and like a good time to the crowd. I say that, but probably the people that are close to me are like, yeah, right. Because I'm always like, does that sound okay? Oh my God, my voice. And they're like, you sounded fine. Oh my God. Here I am giving my best speech of all time. But all that to say, you know, it affects all of us all the time. In my mind, I'm trying to give the best speech ever. No, but in all seriousness, I think all of us as vocalists, as performers in any capacity, you're going to feel it at one point or another. Nerves, I don't care what anybody says. No, it never goes completely away. Like, what? Me? Nerves? Never. It's just the way you deal with it and the way you internalize it. And if all else fails, really just breathe. And I always think like, it's going to be good. And then you always think, in whatever, however long the show is, whether it's 30 minutes, 45 minutes, this is gonna end. And then you spent the whole time stressed, you know, it's like, then it's like, oh, now it's gone, you know. So people are there to have a good time with you. There's my another super long answer. Hope it helps.
No,
I
that's
told
that's
you, I told you, you're like, you're gonna get the cane and pull me off like the Gong Show. I'm dating
oh
myself,
my
right? Saying that right
gosh.
now. You're like, no, get off.
No, this is like really good information to not just only myself, but everybody that's listening in all over the world, right? And it's crazy because I do this. I've been doing this for like the last 5 years, 6 years, something like that, and I still get like stage fright, even on my own podcast. Like you, I know when I can not have a good question or something to come up with, or be nervous when I say a lot, or
Yeah, right.
I it happens all the time. I'll go back and look at the video. I'm like, how many times did I say or hum? I'm like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing, man.
You're like,
Or I say
34.
man a
Okay, I have
lot
to beat
too.
that.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
No,
But
I didn't even
I
think
am
about it.
not
I didn't
perfect. We're
hear.
not perfect here. We're all trying to stream for our goals, and but that's very good lessons for everybody out there. And everybody does get stage fright, because you're around thousands of people, 5 people, one person in attendance, and you're still going to go out there and do your speech, especially as an MC.
Hmm.
Long as they give you an itinerary of what needs to be said and done. I mean, you could word it however you think, but if they
Right.
got it there for you, hey, you need to announce this at this time, which is very easy for some MCs, right? But when they just give you a list and say, hey, put this in the order that you need, and that's just how they do it, right? But yes, we got a lot of people in the house. Deborah Lovato says, absolutely, God gives us all gifts. It's up to us to use it. You
Yes,
reach who you
that's so
need
true.
to. God will put the right people in your path. You got that right.
Yep.
Serene says, got it. Thank you. I learned something new and can relate. I appreciate the
Thank
response.
you.
One more
I'm
question for Estani. I don't know if Crystal has another one for you, but I do got one. There's
okay.
a lot of artists out there: conjunto, tejano, country, English, anybody that's out there. And I'm not just putting it out there because Crystal's in the house, but anybody out there, would you like to do a collaboration with? Anybody? Doesn't matter if it's a big artist, small artist, upcoming artist, conjunto artist. Doesn't matter. Anybody that crosses your mind that you'd like to do a collaboration with, male or female?
Are you talking to me or Crystal?
You.
Yeah, I named her, and she's new, but she's doing what I really would love. Ray, I love Ray. I love what she's doing. I love what she's doing because that's what I was doing on a much smaller scale. And on my first album, Mariposa, I have a song called Será, and it goes from big band jazz. It's like I had like 12 players, and they're like, it's big band jazz swing, and then it goes right into it, the Hano. It's like, anyway, and so I was trying way back then, even trying like, how can I merge these sounds? So I would
Exactly.
love, yeah, I think she's great. Now I have to think of a guy, but I'll figure that out. But yeah, I think she's I love what she's doing. Like what male artist is out there? Oh, there's a male artist who I just went to a Grammy event last week. It was called Grammy House in New York. And there was a guy, and I'm wondering who else I'd never heard of him, but now he was on the panel. His name was Russ. Have you ever heard of him, Crystal?
Uh-uh.
Okay. So he does more like kind of Drake-ish stuff. Like he doesn't rap necessarily. He sings and raps a little, but he's a singer. But anyway, um, he's huge. I can't believe but he's a huge, massive following. I loved what he stood for. Talked about, and I don't know, am I taking too much time? Because I think if I think this is a really great, I know my aunt just telling me like, hey, we have to wrap it up. It's gonna be like 1 a.m, like, oh my God, you're still gonna turn me off and I'll still be here talking to I think he had a great point that I wanted to tell anyone any artist. And I was like, that's so good about it. And again, he was so transparent with the numbers and everything. They were talking about algorithms, followers, listeners, all that stuff that makes somebody stand out. Okay. And he was like, anyway, I would love to collab with him. That's what you asked me first, but I'll tell you why. I think he's a great songwriter. He writes all his music. It's not Spanish, but he was talking about how, first of all, I think I mentioned to you Spotify. I think that they're not really treating the artists very well at all. It's a huge monopoly. You get paid like 0.00001 penny for every stream. I mean, it's ridiculous what you get. And that's why everything's going to Bandcamp, to Patreon, because the artists are making our merchandise and like my CDs and your albums, and it's all going. We would love to go to physical copies, where you could, and now you can meet the artist and get a lot of the liner notes and know exactly what happened. But what he was saying, which I thought was a great point, and I'm seeing more and more vocalists on my like Instagram, for example, my algorithm do it. There's a reason why Spotify puts up those numbers. There's a reason why you see 15,304 listeners. Like he was even saying, what does that even mean? Or like, billions of streams, whatever. Okay, we know a lot of it is bought. Like that's not an untruth here, and I know that whether you're popular or not, but here was the caveat that I thought that was really interesting. He was like, there's a reason why Spotify puts up the numbers and Apple Music does not. Apple Music doesn't need the money to put up the numbers. They don't need the money because Apple Music is a huge conglomerate. So you are all on the same platform, all on the same playing field on Apple Music, right? Because only the artist sees the numbers, not the consumer, not the listener. Oh, see, I just said a win. How did I get those fireworks? I don't even know, but that's crazy. I don't know what I did.
Oh my gosh.
But Spotify, that's crazy. I don't know, but Spotify, what does it show? You have all those numbers, shows that's how many people are on their platform, right? So that's more money. And then if you have like, oh, this person has 100 million streams, but then 100 million versus 400 million, even if it's, he was talking at those numbers, this big artist, right? Well, of course, not only does that show, oh, this artist has a lot of streams, but also shows, well, I've listened to it on Spotify 400 million times. And what's our psyche, including mine? I'll be the one to go, wow, that has a lot of streams. They have a lot of listeners. But it's all a game. It's all a machine. You hardly get paid anything. That's why for me, I'm a little like, I've been on the fence about Spotify for a while. And I just think that's something for emerging artists also, if anybody is listening, to think about, not to boycott Spotify. I did take all my stuff off the platform for a minute, then I put it back on because I had to play the game. But yeah, all that to say, I don't know. I'm still thinking about taking it off because, the numbers are what they are. But the point is, I really liked that comparison. Apple Music, there is no comparison. Everybody, Crystal can have the same amount, or myself, the same amount of numbers as whatever, Bruce Springsteen. Okay, not really, but that probably is not likely. But maybe Beyonce and me have the same streams. Who knows? Yeah, right. But the point is, nobody would know. They just listen to it because they like it. and it's just a human psyche. It's where if I go to Spotify and be like, you look at the numbers, you automatically are going to look at the numbers. So I just think it's a little unfortunate in that respect. So for that reason, I would collaborate with Russ. If you don't know him, you should get to listen to his music. And he's another one. He's younger, I'd say maybe, I don't know, late 20s, but he has such a persona on Instagram and Facebook. Like it's more like he's out there all the time talking about his music, but also just talking about being very transparent about the industry. So I like that. So okay, big long answer. I'm giving y'all so many. Like,
Oh,
shush.
no, you're good, girl. You're good. No, you got some very interesting stories to put out there, and you put them out there within an hour and 15 minutes. A la Modi's. I mean, Estani, I like interviews like this because I don't have to do as much talking, and neither does Crystal. We just, ask our few questions here and there, and then let the artist take over.
I know.
Yeah,
I get so excited, and then I like really like what we're talking about, and yeah. I told you. See, in the beginning, I started real small. I said, "Yeah, I'm a multi-genre artist." Now I'm like 5-minute answers.
Right, yeah. But that's what it's all about, right? And you made our job a little bit easier for us. Unos saludos para Lori Garcia in the house, the mom of Crystal in the house. Bienvenidos a todos. Estani, is there anything you would like to mention out there to producers, managers, promoters, radio stations, people who show you love, support, family members, friends out there that are showing you all the grace and joy out there in your area? Anything you'd like to say before we head out, man? It's an hour and 15 minutes, man, and I want to say thank you, and me and Crystal want to say thank you for giving us your time of an hour and 16 minutes on the show, because you could be like I said, you could be out there, working on your craft and working in the studio, but you're actually here with us, and you gave us your time. So anything you want to say out there to the fans, to anybody out there?
Just thank you for supporting independent artists. Really, that's and artists that don't have a team, that are up and coming and are really putting it out there, everything they have to uh, make a dent in whatever genre they're doing. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot. And any artist knows that, you wear so many hats. And so for anybody supporting, everybody that, when you send a text says, I'm going to be on this podcast, and they come to listen, or I'm going to be at this show and they come to see you, only an artist would know how grateful you are for that support. Because they can see you're going to be singing the same songs, and they'll go see you over and over. I mean, for the most part, I look at Crystal because I'm like, right? I mean, maybe we'll change it up every now and then. But it's just a wonderful thing. And there's so many people that have really shown me so much love, for lack of a better word. I want to shout out like San Benito, the Conjunto Hall of Fame, Pete and Patricia Avila, the Three Amigos podcast, people that don't know me at all and are taking a chance, possibly, maybe, you could for putting my music out there. In any way, it's taking a chance on any new independent artist if you don't know who I am and haven't heard my music. But I'm grateful, and that's just thank you. And I hope that you like what you hear, and don't be don't be turned off by the array of eclectic music, because I think there's a through line there, and that through line is me, and you'll find the commonality in that. So I'm thankful. Thank you.
Well, once again, here you have it right here on the New Mexico Radio Talk Show. Beautiful Estani Frizzell, man, doing her thing out there in the San Antonio area, man, making her dreams come true, doing her career, good vocal coach. So if you need some vocal lessons, I'm sure she's able to give that out to you. And follow her on all the social media platforms, guys. Download all her music, pay for it, stream it. Look her up on Facebook, Estani Frizzell. If it's not on my Facebook, I'll post it here later. That way everybody can follow her Facebook page and all that stuff. But once again, Estani, thank you so much for
Thank you.
your time, and thank you to your family and everybody that made this possible, for having you on our show. And God bless you. Okay.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Well, there you have it. Crystal made our job a little bit easier for us tonight. I mean, we asked a couple of questions apiece or so, and Estani took off. I mean, I didn't expect that to happen, but you get some of those interviews that'll do that for you. You ask a couple of questions, and they tell you about their whole life story, and it's like a book. They tell you everything, and it makes it easier for us because then we don't have to drink a lot of water while on the show,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
keeps our throat nice and dry for the next shows, um, and that's what I like these shows because it makes it easier sometimes. I mean, sometimes it's a little rough.
Mhm.
You get those bumps in the road. You get these new artists, and you're asking them a question, and they're like, "How do I answer that question?" I've had those too. I've had those too. And I think Serene can vouch for that. I think she was one of my first, not one of my first interviews, but one of the interviews that I had with her, and I was asking her some really tough questions. I mean, and stumped her on a few, and but it gets these artists into it, right? It gets them
Mhm.
um, for their next interview because just in case somebody asks that same question, now they know how to. They're prepared for that question out there. So, but what a great artist, great vocal coach. She's so inspiring. Just the stuff that she has. I mean, we could have probably kept going, to 2 o'clock in the morning with her stories. I mean, she has
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of she has a lot to talk about, and especially like when you've been around it, and she's not afraid to put it out there to the fans and other artists, other musicians, and she sees that there's room for everybody to shine. Of course, that's why she wouldn't be if she didn't think of that way. She wouldn't be a vocal coach and be training some great artists to sing correctly, right in the right tone or with the right practice and stuff like that. So, yeah, your intake on this amazing artist, Stani. What's your intake on this amazing artist?
Think it was beautiful getting to hear her perspective of everything. I really enjoy learning her branch into conjunto here and where her roots come from. I knew a little bit about her because she explained it to me. Like I said, I did do my trial run with her. She's going to be my vocal coach for my new project.
That's what you said. Yeah,
So
you're like,
yeah,
oh yeah, I got to be on this one.
yeah, I was like, oh my God, it's her. Oh, but yeah, no, I mean, yeah, she is an open book. She puts it all out on the table. I mean, it was when I first talked to her, our conversation was like, I want to say it was like 30 minutes, and it was supposed to be a quick, like, hey, this is what the trial's gonna be like. We'll set it up. No, she gave me the whole, I was like, you know what? I already love you. And no, it's amazing. She's such a great personality. She shines. I don't even know if she knows that. She has this just natural glow about her. And I think that's what makes her so captivating. And I think she's going to do really well with her projects. And I'm really looking forward to working with her.
Well, you got you a good vocal coach, and and like I said, she's very talented at what she does. You just heard her octaves, right? She just did a little and I'm
Hmm.
sure we could have probably got her to do more octaves and more the high note, the low note, and but just hearing her sing on the show a cappella,
Hmm.
any artist singing a cappella is really tough to do because there's no beatbox guy doing the instrumentals in the background. There's no guitar. It's just a free for all. I mean, all you hear is the air or the fan or whatever it is, right? But the thing
Oh, yeah.
is when you got somebody that's good at what they do, they're gonna put you in the right hands, right? And I think that's where Estani Frizzell is at. She's great at what she does. You heard her been doing it a long time and
Hmm.
doing it for her grandma too, which is awesome to still have her grandma alive at 91 and still being able to see her do her career and that's what's really awesome to me is and her grandma gets to see that and she's doing all this in honor of her too as well. So I believe you got a good vocal coach, so I wouldn't want to lose that vocal coach. Stani Frizzell is a great artist, man. She's a vocal coach. She does it all. You can look her up on all those social media platforms. I do want to say thank you to our amazing host, Crystal Light, man. She is an awesome host. She has her show tomorrow. Be on the lookout. She is on the show tomorrow. She got her own show tomorrow with Sandy, and that's going to be a good one. I'll be tuned into that show, so I'll make sure she tags me. And any last things out there, guys? I do want to say thank you to everybody listening in all over the world, man. Thank you guys so much. We got Lori Garcia says she's listening all the way at the HEB at La Máquina. Any
Oh
last
Lord.
last things for our fans, Crystal, that you want to say a shout out to that's listening in out there?
Shout outs to my mom for keeping it real all the way from HEB. And thank you for everyone listening tonight. It was a really great interview, really insightful information, really good information for our up and coming artists. I have a lot of respect for Estani, and I thank her for joining us.
Right? Yeah, we thank all these artists. Just real quick before we head out, I do know I got a few artists coming in. Uh, I'm busy, guys. I'm busy. I'm doing all kinds of things over here. But yes, I do got all kinds of artists coming in. Just to name a few, we just had a study tonight. We got next week. Who do we got next week? We got Victoria Salcedo, which she's going to be right here in studio, and we are going to have Crystal Light on the show as well. But she will be here in studio, and then we also have. I just set up with a professional boxer. We were at a boxing event over the weekend, and I got to meet her up in personal. And right before we headed out, I said, "You know what? I got to get her number. I got to get her contact so we can bring her on the show." And she's going into the UFC fight world. She's going in from boxing to cage fighting, and she has a fight here in El Paso, Texas. I believe on July the 18th. I might be able to make it. I don't know yet, but we do have her on July the 6th. La Bikina, that's her name. That's her boxing name. It's going to be an awesome interview. And then I just set up a few more interviews and got to confirm those interviews for you guys. And I do want to say thank you to Crystal for being here with us as well. Thank you to Estani Frizzell. We're going to close it out with this song with you guys, man. And we want to say thank you. And be sure to tune in to the Pep Talk Show, man. And be sure to tune in to all these podcasts out there that's showing love. And it's all about showing love out there, man. I'm going to close it out with this song right here. Mi suerte ha cambiado ranchera. It goes a little bit of something like this. Thank you, guys. Good night.
Mi suerte ha cambiado y ya estoy ganando otro amor a quien querer. Tú estabas pensando que toda mi vida no más tú habías de ser. Cuando mal te quise y me abandonaste, dejando en mi pecho herido. Y ahora en mi pecho se encuentra ocupado con otro amor más querido. Yo estaba ciega por ti, lo tanto amor me tenías. Me dejaste muy triste esperando porque estás tirando y nunca volvías. Mi suerte ha cambiado y ya estoy ganando otro amor a quien querer. Tú estabas pensando que toda mi vida no más tú habías de ser. Cuando mal te quise y me abandonaste, dejando en mi pecho herido. Y ahora en mi pecho se encuentra ocupado con otro amor más querido. Yo estaba ciega por ti, lo tanto amor